Aging Matters on BCTV is supported by the Berks County Area Agency on Aging.
Matters. This is a show that is provided by and produced by the Berks County Area Agency on Aging. My name is Ann Barlet, and I'm the Public Advocacy and Outreach Manager for the agency. Our show tonight is full of food and fun, I'll call it. And my guest this evening is Meredith McGrath, and she is a registered dietitian with Redner's Market. So thank you for being here and welcome.
Thank you for having me, Ann. I'm excited to be here.
It's going to be a packed show, I can see. And the show tonight is, our theme is Go Further with Food. And that's in recognition of March, which is designated as National Nutrition Month. And with that, obviously, I think it's a way that we I always remind myself every year, oh yeah, that's right. I need to be thinking about eating healthy. And what does that mean? And to me, it's a variety of foods in a good planned way, good healthy eating, and then of course a little bit of the fitness activity to stay overall healthy. So I'm anxious to turn the show over to you and talk about all the things, because I know we're going to share what you mean by Go Farther with Food and tonight's show with that theme with the Nutrition Month.
Yeah, so like you said, March is National Nutrition Month. Super excited to be here. It just allows us the opportunity to focus and think about those informed food choices that we need to be making. So it's a campaign that happens every March by the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. And they encourage us to actually think before we put the food in our mouth. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, is to make those informed food choices and also focus on some physical activity habits.
Well, unfortunately, I think what we're going to talk about too is right before that we think about what we're putting in our mouth, we've got to purchase it first.
Absolutely.
And so I know that they always say if you go to the grocery store, don't go on an empty stomach, because you're going to purchase everything that you see. Yes. So I think that we have a systematic way of maybe looking at, so we're going to look at, in a sense, what we're purchasing when we're in the store, but it's really based on why we should be purchasing those and being healthier in terms of getting the right products nutritionally for us.
Yeah, my favorite thing to think about when it comes to nutrition are the 3 P's. So it's plan, purchase, and prepare. So you want to have a plan before you go to the grocery store, because if you don't have the plan, like you said, you get there and you start just buying everything and anything. You get home and you think, what am I having for dinner? I have no idea. Mm-hmm. So that's where the plan comes into place and having a grocery list. The next piece is purchase, and that's what we're going to do today, is we're going to actually go through, we're kind of going to do a virtual tour through the grocery store.
That's terrific.
So we're going to be at your local Redner's Markets, going through each department, and I'm going to highlight some of my favorite foods, and some foods that maybe go further with food, meaning they're delicious, they're affordable for your budget, and yet they still offer some nutritional value.
I'm glad you said that, because about affordable in our budget, a lot of times we think that eating healthy costs us more.
Right.
So I think part of it is the planning and being prepared as to what we're going to make and know what we're going to buy to make that.
Yes, and that's not always the case. You know, the number one reason why we buy foods is because we like the taste. Mm-hmm. And I always tell people, if something is healthy and you don't like the taste, don't eat it. There are many other things that you can eat that will taste good, offer nutritional benefit, and fit into your budget. I can make anything fit into anybody's budget.
Okay, all right, I'm ready for our virtual tour. So where do you want to start,
All right,
Meredith?
so we're going to get started over on your side, and this is the produce department. So when you think about walking...
would you like me to do that?
Yeah, Vanna White. So when you think about walking into your Redner's Market, you walk right into produce.
Yes.
And we're going to spend the most time there today because that is where the focus should be. We should be focused on eating fruits and vegetables. The My Plate, which is the guide to, you know, encourage healthy eating. You're going to see that half of the plate is fruits and vegetables, so that at every meal and every snack, we should be filling our plate with fruits and vegetables. So how do we do that? Unfortunately, fruits and vegetables aren't quite as exciting as some other things in the store, but they're getting there. And as you could see over there, we have a couple of my favorite items. Mushrooms. I know that doesn't sound very exciting, but mushrooms have become one of my favorite. And it's not because I get to, you know, saute mushrooms and put them on my plate, but I actually dice them very finely and I mix them in with meat.
Oh.
So whether it's meatballs or meatloaf or a chili, they actually take on the same texture as meat, and they're going to, because mushrooms are quite affordable, they're going to expand the volume basically of your meal, so you don't have to use as much meat, and they offer a great flavor called umami, and they're also rich in vitamin D, which not many foods are.
Okay, all right. That's great.
Yeah, so some other items that I have over there that also do that blended type effect. I don't know if you've heard of squash or zucchini noodles.
Yes,
But in place of some of our spaghetti, we could actually use vegetables in place of pasta. So obviously it's a low-carb option, and you're going to be getting all the vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that's going to be found in the particular vegetable.
Great, and that's this one right here, right? Okie dokie.
Yeah. And right next to that, we have diced up cauliflower. Okay. Again, cauliflower is a relatively new trend, replacing a lot of some of, you know, our higher carbohydrate items that maybe people have deleted because they were concerned about their health. So items like rice and breads. So now you could use the rice, or you could use the cauliflower in place of rice. Actually, last night I made cauliflower pizza crust, so I was able to enjoy pizza night, but using cauliflower as the crust. And what's great about this, actually at Redner's, we sell the cauliflower already diced up, so you don't even have to do the work.
And that's what I was going to, as I was looking at your samples here, I was like, yeah, wow, it's even easier. I mean, you know, we were talking about prepare and coming in and getting it. You know, those are sliced already. You've got that ready to go, so I don't have to worry about getting a squash or zucchini or something and trying to figure out how do I make it spiraled, or that's ready. That's ready. I'm already ready.
And of course, as you're looking at these options, when you go to the produce department, you do want to consider that. You want to say to yourself, okay, is having the fruits and vegetables already prepared, already washed, already diced worth the little extra cost? That's when you have to weigh in, what does my schedule look like this week? Do I have time to go home and prepare this? I always joke with people about a whole pineapple or a whole watermelon, and you take that home and you're just like, oh, I don't want to cut that. I don't want to cut it ever. And it sits and sits, and then you dread eating it, and it goes bad and it goes in the trash. Well, guess what? You spent a lot more money throwing that away than if you would have had it already cut up, cubed, ready to go. You know, when you go to someone's house and they have fresh fruits and vegetables out, you sit and you eat it all day long because it's out. It's ready.
It's ready to go.
So a few other things that we have there.
Are we going to talk about this?
Yeah, one of my favorites are salad kits. They're quick. They're easy, they're less than $3, and it's something that you can just do very quick. I've already even just used half the package. It takes a little work to do it in half, but this way you don't always have to make the bag, you know, the full bag right away. But I love it because it allows you to experience different tastes. I believe the one that we have there, some cranberries and cabbage and kale, carrots, so there's a lot of different tastes and flavors in there, so you don't have to be a chef and try to figure out how to make the salad. It's already done for you.
And it's colorful. You know, that's the other thing I get, you know, our eyes and our stomachs, you know, we look for appealing kinds of things, so far even all of these are colorful as well.
Absolutely. They always talk about eating the rainbow, so sometimes I'll get the question as, well, what's the best fruit or vegetable for me to eat? Well, they're all great. The, red, blue, yellow, green, all of those colors are going to contribute different vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. So you don't want to just eat blueberries. You don't want to just eat broccoli, because while you're doing that, you're missing out on the opportunity of other nutrients in other foods. And speaking of other foods, which people may not experiment with, I have an avocado up there.
Oh, I know. Oh, I see.
Way up
right
front.
here in the front.
And what's great about the avocado is it could actually be used in a lot of our favorite meals to replace some high-fat items like butter and mayonnaise, because it's very creamy and it's going to lend itself to that mouthfeel. But you're also going to get a lot more nutrition, and you're going to get those heart-healthy fats, which, like I said, heart-healthy, they're good for your heart.
I think sometimes, too, we look at these and go, I like it and I would buy it, but I'm not quite sure. Another show, I think, is how do I use these? How do I make it? I get the replacement, and I'd like to do that, and I see that, and I watch TV and how to, cut it in half and do that, but all I can think of is opening and slicing and putting it on something. So I think it would be great to have some ideas as to the use, how to actually make those. That would be great, but I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, we definitely like to stick to what we know and what we're comfortable with. So it's sometimes hard expanding out of that box, but you could always ask your local Redner's produce manager, and they'd be happy to help you, happy to show you how to cut it, prepare it, and give you some ideas. And of course, you could always contact me at Redner's and ask me for some ideas as well.
Great, great. And I know that some of the places have little recipes also in the carriers around the aisles too, so that's helpful. All righty, so
I could spend an hour on produce, but we only have a 30-minute show, so we're going to have to move down the lane a little bit. And the next section that we're going to move to is center store. So you may have heard the myth before, if you want to eat healthy, stick to the perimeter of the store.
Yes.
That is not necessarily true all the time. We have to think about some of the items that are in what we call center store. Okay, so some of those items are in front of me right now. So we have our whole grains. So we're probably used to whole wheat pasta, which I have up here, or maybe brown rice, but there are also some other grains that are going to be actually high in protein and high in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. And that will be grains like quinoa, farro, wheat berry, and they may be some grains that people have not heard of before. But they're very similar to rice. So however you would use rice, you could use those in the same way. Again, they have a little different taste, but that makes it even more exciting as you're creating some new side dishes.
All right, very good.
And then some other things we have in center store. One of my favorites up here is popcorn. Popcorn is
I'm sure that's a lot of households.
Yeah, popcorn is a whole grain. The one I have here is 94% fat-free. So again, it's that quick, easy snack that you could have at night, in the middle of the day, when you're just craving a little something but don't want to reach for the greasy potato chips.
Gives a little crunch, gives a little something, but yet healthier.
Absolutely.
Great.
Okay, so I also have in front of me some broth. Broths are great to have, especially this time of year. It's always great to have them in your pantry because you could quick and easily make some soup. So with some broth and maybe toss in some leftover chicken from the night before, some frozen vegetables, canned vegetables, whatever you could toss in, and then you can make your own soup. There are a lot of broths that are fat-free and sodium-free, and then you could add your own spices and herbs to it to add that flavor without the sodium.
Yep, and so you're getting all the healthy nutrition from that and the warmth, and it's filling.
Yes, absolutely. And again, another good point about center store is that they're shelf-stable items. They're items that you could stock up your pantry and have them for a long time, and you don't have to worry about using them within 2 to 3 days like you may the fresh meat and the fresh produce. So, and that's why as we talk about the canned fruits and vegetables, again, back in the day, people would think, oh, I'm not supposed to have canned, but canned is okay for you. And if you are eating fruits and vegetables, the fact that you're eating them far outweighs the
The
fat.
sodium that we've always been told,
Right.
lately not get because of the higher
Yes.
sodium content.
Yeah, so what you can do is you could drain those items. You
Okay.
could drain the brine right out of them, and that will remove a lot of the sodium. With the canned beans, again, a very affordable option, high in protein, high in fiber, and then all that sodium will go down the drain when you rinse it.
Okay. All right.
And let's see, what else you have in front of you? I know it's
I was
one
going to say,
of
would you
your
like me to show you what you have?
one of your favorites. You've already
No.
mentioned peanut butter. So
Okay,
I
I've still hold
have
up the peanut butter.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have some assorted nuts and some
Yes.
peanut butter. Again, what's great about these is they're high in monounsaturated fats, good for your heart, high in protein, high in fiber, but what's going to be important is the serving size. So what I encourage people to do, and I had to bring it, it's fresh out of my kitchen. You can see it's well used and well loved, but it's a kitchen scale. And this is truly the best way to show people, or so you know how much you're really eating. Because we may think to ourselves, we know that I'm only eating an ounce of nuts. But are you really only eating an ounce of nuts? The best way to do it is with the kitchen scale. So, I encourage people with nuts and cheese and meats to put it on the kitchen scale and see how much you're really
Okay.
eating. Doesn't mean every single time, but just till you start to get
Right.
an
So you
idea
figure
of
out
what it looks like.
what is appropriate and what's way over. So you don't want to take this and sit there putting it on like apple, because that makes it healthy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you need it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then we're going to keep moving around the grocery store, and we're going to move back to the deli and meat area. So
Okay.
again,
I think another controversial section.
another one. But we are lucky that the deli now carries a lot of low sodium and fat-free options.
Okay.
And again, when we focus on serving sizes and have something like a food scale, you'll be able to keep those servings in check. So your triple-decker ham, cheese, salami, bologna sandwich may not be the best choice, but maybe a lean turkey sandwich with some low-fat cheese or some fat-free ham would be a great choice. So it's a quick, easy source of protein. It's affordable, and again, it's certainly.
And
a
I always
good
think
option.
travelable. Again, because a lot of people, if you're still working, then you can pack your lunch. That's a little easier than maybe some of the products.
Yes.
So, okay.
And then as we move into, the meat, one of my favorite things in the meat area is the rotisserie chicken.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't get much faster and easier than that. And of course, the skin, you'll be able to remove the skin if you're looking to save calories and fat.
Yeah.
But other than that, you have some lean chicken
Okay,
breast that
yeah.
you could quickly throw on a salad, throw on a sandwich, and you have that all available for you. If you have a week that maybe you can't
Yeah.
cook and your only other option would be takeout or the drive-through, this is certainly a better and more affordable option.
Well, and I think the other thing too is if you know that you're going somewhere or coming back from something and it's going to be later than normal, you can actually plan to go pick that
Yes.
up. That
Yep.
could be part of your plan is, that night we have a different schedule, a different routine. I'm out here, I have a late doctor's appointment, whatever it is. If they stop along the way, then that is something that kind of can be planned.
Yep.
And then they have probably enough to do some things with for another meal or two.
Absolutely. So other than that, in the meat department, some of my favorite things are the Redner's Family chicken breast. I buy at least 1 pack a week, and on a Sunday night, I throw every single piece of chicken in the crock pot, and I let it sit for 8 hours.
Okay.
And at the end of 8 hours, I take my fork and I pull it apart, and I have lean chicken breasts pulled that I put it right away in individual portions, and then I have it for the next few days that we could easily use it for lunch or for dinner, and my 3 to 4 ounce portion is already there for me. I actually used to buy it already done, and I thought, well, that's a lot of money I'm spending.
Yeah.
I could do this myself. And it is so quick and easy, and once you get yourself into a routine, it really becomes a habit, and it becomes a habit that lends itself to nutrition and also good for your budget.
And simple.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. So I know we're running out of time, and we have 2 departments
Okay.
left. So our next department is going to be the frozen department.
Okay.
And some highlights when we think about frozen food are, again, our fruits and vegetables, because they're quick and easy. We don't have to think about when are they going to go bad and how do I prepare them, because you can get things like frozen pineapples, frozen mangoes, frozen broccoli. I also like some of the other, you had mentioned the steamables, the steamable vegetables already in the bag. I mean, that is quick and easy that you could throw in there. You're still going to retain a lot of the nutrition, and it's affordable. So when you get that rotisserie chicken at Redner's and you need a vegetable for the side, in 3.5 minutes you're ready to go.
Exactly, exactly. Wonderful, nutritious, convenient, healthy, and budget friendly.
Yeah, and that's what we're looking for, because if it cannot be sustainable and if it's not something that you can do forever for your life, it's not going to work. The other thing in the frozen department are individual portion meals.
Yes.
So
And there's so many options.
There are so
I don't
many
know if you can tell us if
options.
there's something to look for in those, or they are good, they're not good, they are good.
So you'll want to keep your eye on the calories and the sodium, but there are certainly many options that are available that are lower sodium and lower fat. And of course you want to make sure that it tastes good too, but right away the fact that it is already portion controlled, you're way ahead of the game in terms of nutrition. So quick and easy, if you have one of those weeks that you don't have time to pack lunches, you could throw that in and be able to take it to work or travel with you and have a quick, easy meal there.
That's great. That's wonderful. I think that, again, the whole theme is we can find good, healthy foods to eat and all varieties of things that we've discussed. Anything else staying with, say, the dairy? We were in the frozen.
Yep.
Anything?
So the dairy, one of my favorite items is going to be a non-fat Greek yogurt. And what I love about this is not only is it a good snack where we could throw a little bit of granola, a little bit of fruit in, but it also can be used in some of your cooking. So anything that you use, maybe mayonnaise or sour cream with, you can now replace with a non-fat Greek yogurt, and it's still going to give that creamy flavor, but not all the fat. And you're going to get that boost of protein.
Excellent. Wonderful. That's great.
And of course, I have to mention my eggs, because I never talk about nutrition without mentioning eggs. They are absolutely one of the most affordable, nutritious items that are available. You could make them so many different ways. People love them. Thank goodness they debunked that cholesterol myth, that we don't have to worry about it. That doesn't mean eat a 6-egg omelet every day.
Right.
But it certainly means that we can enjoy eggs on a relatively regular basis. Again, affordable, high in nutrition, and they're delicious.
And what we can do is obviously throw in, we've got anything that we can throw in with the egg if we're scrambling it, or something very simple, throw some veggies, different kinds of veggies in it, and you've got some added nutrition on top of it too. And colorful. I go back to that because it makes it appealing, I think. Good, yes, wonderful. Where are we? Have we gotten
I don't think we got everything.
Oh no, we have some.
But
the cereals. Do you want to say anything about the cereals on the end?
I mean, the cereals are great. So again, when you're looking at cereals, you want to make sure that they're high in fiber, low in fat. So to do that, make sure they're over 3 grams of fiber.
That's what I was going to ask. Okay.
Less than 3 grams of fat. That usually lends itself to a pretty well-balanced, nutrient-dense cereal. Now keep in mind, if they're nuts, they might be a little bit higher in fat. And of course, find that one that you like. Okay.
And how about, I see the blue bag?
Oh, yes.
Perhaps, now we've eaten healthy
I
all
should have
day
known
long,
that you
Meredith.
wouldn't let me skip this one. So another new trend are bean chips. Bean chips, bean crackers, and what's great about these is we still like our salty, crunchy snack.
Absolutely.
We like our salty, crunchy
we're just
snack.
sitting there watching TV, or we need just like the popcorn. We've had a little bit of that, but we want to change.
But we don't want to have all the fat and something that isn't quite nutritious. So what's great about these is the number one ingredient of black beans.
Okay.
So because they're black beans, they have 4 grams of protein per serving. They're actually gluten-free. You could find some that are baked and not fried, so they don't have a lot of fat. And again, they have the fiber, the antioxidants that are also found in our regular bean items. So we, get to have the snack that we like, but get to have the focus on nutrition.
What can I say? I'm like, okay, I'll be getting that.
Yeah.
I'm making my list of the things that I want to go out and get. So I think in the 1 or 2 minutes that we have left, Meredith, any one tip, one advice, something that you want to end kind of the show with in
Sure.
particular before we also give folks how to reach you. But anything that you want to say that we should be looking, whether it's back to the plate or...
Yeah, my motto is always to enjoy your food, but eat less. For those of you that I may have interacted with in the past, I've always talked about my chocolate cake and the fact that I love cake,
Okay.
but we don't always need this size cake. A lot of times we just need a couple of bites to enjoy something. So we want to make sure that we're enjoying food, that it contributes some amount of nutrition, unless it is that chocolate cake or ice cream that we still love, then we just eat a little bit of it.
Yes.
And we want to make sure that we're moving more. That doesn't always mean, a kickboxing class and high intense exercise, but just, every hour, make sure that you're getting up, make sure that you're moving. Overall, it's going to improve your health, your mood, just how you feel about yourself. And it's an ongoing thing. Right now, we're in the dead of winter. It's kind of hard to eat well and exercise, but thank goodness spring's right around the corner. Yep. And we'll get in that
And
mode.
we can plan to do that too
Yes.
as we are planning our shopping trip. And so what I would also like to have you offer the folks, I know that you do provide actual, instead of virtual shopping tours. I know that that you at Redner's have provided groups to go through and have actually looked at different aspects and areas within the grocery store. And I'm sure you said you were able to provide other advice. So how might we contact you, or what's the best way if we have questions or to find out about other things that you do, like the tours?
Yes. So actually in our stores, we have a magazine called Health Sense, and I write it. I provide health and living tips and recipes. My information is in there, so anyone could contact me if they have any questions regarding physical activity or nutrition. And groups can also contact us at the Redner's main office if they would like to schedule a tour just to talk about some nutritious, healthy options.
Can you tell us again the name of the magazine?
Sure. It's Redner's Health Sense magazine.
Okay, Redner's
And it's
Health
also
Sense.
available online at our website, www.rednersmarkets.com.
Great. And how might they reach you do you have the corporate office? Is that where you said we would be calling?
Yep. And again, my information is on the website and in the magazine that they can get.
All righty. Well, I've enjoyed our virtual tour, and I hope that the viewers have as well. Please, if you have any questions, feel free to call Meredith. Certainly pick up the magazine at Redner's. And I would just like to say thank you for your wonderful advice, and certainly going out and planning my shopping trip a little healthier from now on. So thanks for tuning in to Aging Matters.
Aging Matters on BCTV is supported by the Berks County Area Agency on Aging.